So we got this leg of lamb, and I've never made a leg of lamb before, and I've been letting it thaw in the fridge overnight. You know, this isn't just like a quick little 1-2 recipe. Like, I have to be prepared because this could probably take hours and hours to cook. I'm also planning on making Diwali tonight, so I've really just set myself up for some really high expectations tonight, but we'll get more into that later. I need to go grocery shopping, so I need to find a trustworthy recipe for this leg of lamb. I really don't want it to turn out bad, obviously, but more specifically, I want the ingredients to make it not too, you know, gamey and too, you know how lamb sometimes can be. I'm on the MediterraneanDish.com, and I feel like that sounds pretty trustworthy, so. Grocery haul. Got a lot of stuff just for the recipes I'm making. Got some parsley, a lot of tomatoes, a lot of lemons, onion, peaches, apricots. I don't know why I have been craving apricots and they just look so yummy. Of course, some avocados, bananas, and you know, I had to get my Italian sourdough bread. Some golden potatoes. Golden potatoes are my favorite. I just feel like they're the most velvety and kind of like they cook down the best. Bloobs. And I would be insane if I tried to make this today as well, but I have a random craving for flan, so I got some sweetened condensed milk and evaporated milk. Other than that, I have all the ingredients like eggs, vanilla, sugar, you know, all of that good stuff. A few different variations of yogurt, like some Greek yogurt and Siggi's yogurt. And I usually would get more than this, but last week was the first week that we were back from our trip. I just was kind of sick the entire week with a low appetite, which I'll probably get into more about what I was experiencing, but let's just say we still have a good amount of groceries from last week's grocery haul in the fridge. Alright, so I've changed into an old shirt because we are going to be cooking for the next few hours. I feel like we haven't done a cooking vlog in forever. I feel like in general, I just haven't been cooking as much the past few months because of various reasons. Oh, there's an ant on my tripod. I am making lamb, a leg of lamb, and Diwali or grape leaves. I'm gonna get started on the lamb first because it's going to take like 4 to 5 hours in the oven. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a little bit of a rub in the food processor. Okay, so I just washed the lamb with some lemon juice and salt, patted it dry, and then salt and peppered each side and made some slits. The kitchen is a mess, so let's ignore that. I'm just going to throw it in the oven and broil it on each side for 5 to 7 minutes, or until each side is nicely seared. Perfect. I'm gonna clean up while that's happening. So for Diwali, I like to use this Egyptian rice. It's like a shorter, fatter grain, and it just absorbs all of those flavors into like each grain of rice. And I like my grape leaves to be really like fat and juicy. I always end up needing to make more of the filling, so I'm gonna try to, you know, overestimate this time. See, like, that looks like way too much. I don't want it to be that much. Great. So to make the grape leaves a little less tough, I'm going to boil them for a few minutes in some water. This is the Al Afia brand. It says it's a new version, California style grape leaves. So we'll see, you know, how these turn out. And I don't unfold them or anything. I just kind of let them stay folded up. Lamb is seared. I'm gonna let it cool down before I apply the rub, and then cover it with foil and bake it. So this recipe that I'm trying to follow needs some sort of like roasting pan where you put the lamb in the middle and then you add some water around the sides to kind of, thinks that it's some sort of like conventional cooking method. I don't have that, so we're making do. We're wrapping the lamb in some foil and adding a little bit of water to hopefully like help with that cooking process, and just hoping for the best. So here goes nothing. Okay. In at 325 for 4 hours.
Staying safe at home. Left alone. Without a place to go. Watering those fears you grow. You need to fly. And now's the chance for you to try. The traffic in your life is stuck inside.
I have my station set up. This is my filling with the rice, tomatoes, parsley. I added some garlic, which I've never done before, so let's see how that turns out. Grape leaves here, my little rolling plate, and this tray to put all the final rolled grape leaves on. And you might be wondering, why the heck am I making such elaborate dishes on a Monday? I don't even know if I mentioned that it's Monday. What am I doing all this for? I'm not hosting. This just seems like a lot of work, and you know what? I've thought about that same thing in this process. Kind of a larger topic that I wanted to mention was just some like realizations I had while traveling. And I don't mean to sound like so cliche, but you know, traveling makes you realize things. It's been even more affirmed than ever before that I want to romanticize my life, especially going to some place like Europe. It's just a different lifestyle there where it's a slower lifestyle. It just feels more romanticized and intentional. Both my husband and I had that same exact sentiment throughout this trip. And something I've been telling myself since coming back is I want to, you know, live like an Italian. Not that I've experienced what every Italian lifestyle is like. I experienced enough and picked up on a few things where it's like, I like this, this, and that, and I want to implement that at home. One of those things is just making good quality food and knowing that it's okay to slow down, to take your time to make that food. I mean, most of the stuff there is just super fresh, locally grown. I feel like this already aligns with just the type of person that I am, where I like to eat really high quality ingredients. I like to eat good food. I don't like to depend on others to make good food. But I will be honest, I wasn't planning on making the leg of lamb that just literally fell into our hands yesterday, and I just thought it would go well with this. Until Salah comes home from work, I'm just going to be rolling these, and he usually steps in to help me finish rolling. So again, I cooked the lamb for I think 5 hours. 30 minutes ago, I took it out to add the potatoes and onions, and it was already just falling apart. So I'm very curious to see how this is gonna look. Potatoes are not really cooked, but I want to take the lamb out so that it's not overcooked. So this is what the lamb looks like after cooking for that long. I am nervous. It is so soft.
That's nice and tender. That's really good.
Let's flip her over. This is a man's job. It's gonna be heavy, so be really careful. Whoops. No, we live and we learn. I think it looks good enough. I I feel like a bear that just came out of hibernation with this makeup on. It's crazy like how little I do wear makeup. Not to sound like a pick-me or anything, but I just like only wear it if I'm like going out somewhere where I'm gonna like see people, or I'm just really in the mood to do makeup, or I'm filming something, etc. Yeah, right now it's almost 2 p.m. I've just been kind of doing some work from home throughout the day. I've been like wanting to go to a coffee shop, but I'm trying to pick the right day. And we're also in a heat wave, as I'm sure probably other people in America or around the world are in the 90s for us. Like kind of almost feels like 100 degrees, which is really crazy for us Ohioans. So I'm just not trying to go outside in that. Another, habit that I picked up on last week / after my trip was going on walks first thing in the morning, like before I make my coffee. Just like a very short walk, like a 5-minute walk even, to kind of set the tone for the day. I really enjoyed doing that last week. But again, now that we're in a heat wave, I just kind of don't want to step outside. I honestly haven't been working out nearly as much, because that leads me into my next little talk, which was that I got sick after my vacation. On the vacation, I kind of caught a cold or like a cough, and it just like continued, especially in the nights throughout the trip. And I would like literally have cough attacks, which I've never had that. And honestly, alhamdulillah, I rarely get sick like that, so it was kind of new for me. And I was just worried that I had caught the new strain of COVID or something. But then again, it was kind of just a cough with like a little bit of ear pain, a little bit of congestion, and then once I got home, it got even worse. Like one morning I woke up with more ear pain and body aches, and in general my stomach felt like weird. I went to the doctor, and turns out I had walking pneumonia. It just like didn't even cross my mind that I could ever get pneumonia. Honestly, for being completely honest, I didn't really quite understand what pneumonia was. It just sounded like more of a hospitalization illness, so I was like, oh great. There's like different forms and levels of it. And I had walking pneumonia, which is where you have it, but you still feel like fine enough to function and walk and stuff. I just took some antibiotics for 3 days, and I feel like yesterday I finally felt normal for the first time again. So that, plus just, being jet lagged, I feel like it's been really hard for me to get back into a good groove. Also trying to keep the inspiration alive, which inspiration as a content creator is not talked about enough. It's like one of the hardest parts of the job. Feelings of the stuff I'm making isn't good enough, it's not interesting enough, I don't really know, at least like for my personal brand as like a modest fashion lifestyle creator, I feel like right now I'm struggling to know what I should continue to make. So I'm just kind of like working through some mental things in my head with that. It's not always a steady uphill thing with being a entrepreneur or a content creator, or just like with any career in general. Sorry, that was a lot and kind of long. I have an HOA meeting tonight, which so random. It's my first HOA meeting ever, so that'll be really interesting. I do want to work out to some capacity. It's just as annoying because I put makeup on, and I hate to work out with makeup, but then I also don't want to take it off. So anyways, that's what I'm up to. That was my little update, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. Ready for our HOA meeting. I feel like we're probably one of the younger ones there, so I decided to dress up a little more mature. And plus I just like this outfit. Now I remember why I didn't step out of the house until now. Literally feels like an oven, and I just know if I put my sunglasses on, they're going to fog up. But anyways, we're on our way to the HOA meeting.
I don't want to hear the neighbors.
We just want to hear what's on our neighbors' minds. But for real, this neighborhood, honestly, we haven't experienced any issues, alhamdulillah. No one has been mean or rude towards us. There's no like young hooligans out partying late. The dog owners, for the most part, pick up their dogs' poop, whereas in our last apartment, especially towards the end, we started to like on every walk notice poop on the sidewalk, which was so disgusting. Honestly, like I personally don't think it's necessary we go to this meeting, so I wanted to go, and I kind of just want to go for like the plot and see what it's all about. Yeah, so I'm taking Salah's car, so we had to adjust. It is the next day. I'm getting ready to head out to meet my friend at a coffee shop. Yeah, we like to go to coffee shops and do work together sometimes. I think this will be really good for me. I like definitely need to get out of the house. There's a man behind my car. It was like raining and plus it's hot, so now it's super humid. Got some linen pants on, this cute jersey, like cross neckline shirt from Naked Fashion. I've just been wanting to kind of put more effort into my outfits, even when I go out to casual places, because again, sorry for like saying the same thing a million times, but ever since Italy, just the whole romanticizing life thing has felt really reinforced in my head where, you know, I want to like not just dress like a bum when I go out, even if like I'm not going to see anyone. I want to like utilize my clothes. Whenever I sit in Salah's car, I have to like do a million steps to connect my Bluetooth because the Bluetooth connection is so strong to his phone that whenever he's home, it like almost doesn't work for me. But anyways, I'm running late, so let's go.